Hi, this is Chesney from Wayne Public Library, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a few different types of homemade dog treats. Now, it's important to monitor your dog when they eat any of these treats, give it to them in moderation, follow proper storage procedures, and I'm going to say a few things about safe food for dogs just real quick. So, I'm sure you guys know not all human food is safe for dogs. Some food is only recommended in moderation, while others may be harmful or toxic. And while all the ingredients we have in this video are safe for dogs in general, some dogs have more specific dietary needs and restrictions, so please adhere to any type of special diet that your dog may have. Monitor them when they're eating the treats, and consult your vet if you have any questions about your dog's specific diet. Now, for every recipe, if there's extra warnings I need to give you about the ingredients, I will in the separate recipes. And if you want to substitute any ingredients in these recipes, please check with online resources to make sure that you're choosing a safe alternative, because some substitutions that may be safe for humans are not safe for dogs. And there's a couple websites online that will tell you which foods that dogs can and cannot eat, such as ones on the American Kennel Club website as well as the ASPCA website. Alright, now that that's all out of the way, let's get started on our first recipe. For our first recipe, we're going to be making blueberry and banana popsicles. You can use different molds depending on the size of your dog. You can use like a human popsicle stick mold. Just be careful of putting a stick in it if you're giving it to your dog. You don't want to do that. For a smaller dog, you can use an ice cube tray, or even for a larger dog, you could use a muffin tin. So all we need for this is plain unsweetened Greek yogurt, a banana, and fresh or frozen blueberries. We're going to start by mushing the banana up. Once you have your banana all mixed up, then you're going to add your blueberries. We're going to be using a half cup of blueberries. It's okay if you use a little more or a little less. And just like the banana, you're going to mash these up, which you can do by hand or using a blender or food processor. For our final ingredient, we're going to be adding the yogurt to the mixture. Now, depending on what size mold you're using, you might have to play around with the amount of yogurt. Even ice cube trays are not all the same size, so I'd recommend starting with 1 full cup a little extra. And then I'm going to add about a half cup more, so a total of 1.5 cups for the molds I'm using. Alright, and once it's all mixed in, you're going to put it into your mold. Alright, I have my ice cube tray filled. It looks like I have a little bit left over. Like I said, it depends on the size of the mold, how much blueberries you're putting in, how many bananas. So start with 1 cup of yogurt and add a little more if you need to. Now we're going to put this in the freezer and come back when they're frozen solid. These are our finished blueberry and banana popsicles. If you have trouble getting them out of the tray, you can run the bottom of it under room temperature water and they should loosen up a little bit and be able to pop out of the tray. As far as storage goes, you're going to want to take them out of here and move them to an airtight container like a Ziploc baggie or Tupperware. And as far as serving sizes go, I probably wouldn't give more than 1 to your dog per day. These will probably stay good in the freezer for up to a month. And there you go, a nice frozen treat that you or your dog can enjoy. For this next recipe, you're going to need 3 ingredients. It's going to be dry powdered milk, dry cream of wheat, and a jar of baby food. Now this flavor is turkey and gravy. You can use other flavors as long as it's a food that dogs can have. You do definitely want to check before you pick one out. You're also going to want to look at the ingredients. This one is made with ground turkey, water, and cornstarch, which are all fine ingredients for dogs. A lot of the baby food might have garlic powder or onion powder, which are not safe for dogs, so you want to look for something that's basically the pureed food plus water and maybe a little cornstarch. I'm going to start by putting the baby food in the bowl. Then you're going to add a tablespoon of dry milk, and a tablespoon of the cream of wheat. Mix that together. And then we're going to lightly grease a baking tray with olive oil. We'll be right back. These treats are going to be a little smaller. Get about a spoonful and flatten it to about an inch and a half across. These don't have to be perfectly round. This is going to make a smaller batch as well. If you want to make a larger batch, just make sure that you keep the ratio the same of baby food to the dry ingredients. Just add a little more of that one. And they are ready to be baked. Here are our finished baby food cookies. They're good for older dogs because they still have like a sort of soft texture. I would recommend only giving one to your dog per day, and I would store them in an airtight container in the fridge for no more than a week. And unlike the other two recipes, I don't know if you would enjoy these ones, but your dog sure will. For this recipe, we're going to be making banana pancakes, and you will need one banana, some milk, one egg, which I already cracked, and some quick oats or old-fashioned oats, either. And you're going to start by mashing the banana. Once you have your bananas mashed up, you're going to add your one egg, you're going to add a half cup of oats, and then a half cup of milk. I'm going to mix that together carefully. Now, this recipe makes roughly 4 pancakes that are about maybe 4 to 6 inches in diameter. And this is a recipe that you can enjoy the food too. It doesn't just have to be for your dog. If your mix is a little soupy, you're welcome to add just a pinch more oats, but not too much more. You do still want there to be enough liquid in the batter. Alright, and then once we have this mixed up, we're going to be cooking them in a pan or skillet on the stove that you're going to fill with a little bit of olive oil to start. Now it's time to make your pancakes, and you're going to do this in a small pan with a little bit of olive oil in it, and you're going to turn the heat onto medium. And you're going to put about a quarter of your batter in there. And that's roughly the size of pancake you want. And you want to make sure that you have your spatula with you for when it's ready to flip. And while it cooks, you want to look for, it'll be ready to flip when you either start to see bubbles in the center or along the edges. As it cooks, it'll start to cook up the sides, and once it does that, you can kind of use your spatula to see if it looks ready on the underside where it's nice golden brown, and once it is, then you just flip it over. Now, the consistency of these pancakes is a bit different than your normal pancake batter that you get in a box mix. It's a little more fragile, it will come apart a little quicker, so you want to make sure that your pancake is cooked through before you try to flip it, and you want to be really careful when you flip it. Now, these pancakes, you can eat them, or your dog can eat them, or you both can eat them. Because they're banana pancakes, they probably go well with a little bit of peanut butter. If you are giving them to your dog with peanut butter on them, you want to use a peanut butter that does not contain the sweetener xylitol, because that is poisonous to dogs. So make sure that you get xylitol-free peanut butter. I know that the brand Jif does not have that in their peanut butter. Alright, you can start to see that it's starting to brown along the edges. Alright, and that one's ready to flip. Make sure you get your spatula all the way under there. See, that one did come apart, but it'll be just fine. It'll still be able to cook all the way through. And because there's banana in here, it's going to be a little more moist, like a banana bread-like texture. It'll still be cooked all the way through, but again, the texture is not the same as a normal pancake. It's still very good, but it is different. So that is something to be aware of. While you're cooking your second side, make sure that it doesn't start to stick. If it does start to stick, you might need to add a little bit more olive oil so it doesn't do that. And this side's a little more difficult to tell when it's done. You will have to use your spatula to look on the underside to see if it is ready. Yep, and once the underside is brown and it looks thoroughly cooked, you are all set, and you're going to cook the rest of your batter like that. Here are our finished banana pancakes. The serving size is based on the size of your dog. If you have a larger dog, maybe they can eat one whole one, but if you have a smaller dog, I would probably recommend maybe half. And I wouldn't keep these for more than 3 days stored in your fridge in an airtight container, like a Tupperware container or a Ziploc baggie. And then they're easy to reheat. You just throw them in the microwave. Thank you for joining us today in making homemade dog treats. We hope that you found a new recipe that your dog will like. If you want to let us know in the comments below which recipe you tried and how your dog liked it. If you're joining us on Facebook, please feel free to share pictures of either the treats you made or your dog. And we hope that you join us for more crafts in the future.